Good evening and welcome to the October 21st Grafton School Committee meeting. Before we start, I would just like to take a moment to thank everybody who came out to town meeting to fund the middle school roofing design project. Pleased to see that article passed, and we'll be looking forward to seeing what happens next with that. And then I'm going to open it up to Dr. Cummings, who's going to make some introductions.
Yes, we've got our food service presentation. I would happy to introduce two fantastic individuals, Joe Armenti, the district manager for Whitson's, and Betsy Labonte, school nutrition director.
And while you're walking up, Jay, is there anybody online who might be interested for public comment? I'm so sorry, I didn't even look. Anybody here
No.
for public? Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. Seeing no one in the room, I just assumed no, and I forgot that we were online. Thank you. Understudy.
Right arrow, black out to full, I see, okay, to the light. Okay.
Yes, it's very
See.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
welcome. It's nice to see you both.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. We'll start. First of all, the breakfast meals, we're happy to report have increased year over year for the last 3 years. Breakfast participation has increased over the last 3 years. Lunch meals also have increased over the last 3 years, and we're comparing 23, 24, 24, 25 in the beginning of this year. And lunch participation also has increased year over year. Betsy can take it away.
Sure.
Probably give you some of the reasons why.
So basically, we're going to provide you with a recap of some of the things that we've done last year, and also some insight into what we're thinking for this year. So our first major decision we made is to add a chef to our program, which greatly steps up our game, so to speak. He joined us in October of last year, and he spent most of his year going to different schools, doing different promotions or theme items. Some of the things that you can see, we did a lot of food bars, which are great for the kids because they enjoy making choices, build their own lunch. So some of the things that we did are listed here and some photos. The top photo is a promotion called Pancake Rings, where we bake whole grain pancakes in a donut pan, and then we try to dress them up a little bit with some cereal toppings or some chocolate chips. Really fun and exciting. We did that at North Grafton last year in South Grafton, so it was a big hit. It was a lot of fun. The other things that we did was a chicken gyro, which was a new item for us, trying to tap into some different cuisines. We also did a loaded potato tot, which you can see in the bottom corner, and then the famous Yardbird, which you hear so much about every year. So that is the Chick-fil-A style chicken sandwich that we do at the elementary and the high school, middle school level. We're continuing with our meatless options on Mondays, focusing that there's a meatless item in every school available, featured on Monday, but available throughout the week, so we can take care of those needs. Some of the pop-up shops that we did, again, the Yardbird. This year, we're going to do, instead of the Nashville Hot, this year's trend is hot honey. So if you see that at your local restaurants, everything's hot honey. So we have a chicken sandwich that we can do. We can do those with chicken nuggets as well. And anytime we do feature something like this, obviously, the daily participation goes right up.
Okay.
Last year, we had a lot of fun with a a promotion called Lunch with Leadership.
We had a guest chef.
We had a guest chef from Saugus or Everett. Ramon came
I
to.
thought Jay was the guest chef.
Oh, no.
Mr.
He was a food service extraordinaire. You could see that there's a photo of Jay and Laura and Frank getting the direction from Ramon on how to do it. We combined it with another promotion from Red's Best. They're a company out of Boston, locally caught fish. And they will provide you with a fish of the day, a catch of the day, caught within 48 hours of when you serve it. So that day we featured hake. And there's a little picture in the bottom where the Red's Best provides you with your fisherman, where he's from, the name of his boat, and what he's providing for that day. So that was exciting. And we thank you for participating, Laura, and volunteering for that.
It's amazing.
Dr. Cummings, you both have promising careers in food service. If, what you're currently doing isn't really working out. So be happy to have you back. Also, just a note that, we do provide catering for any meeting needs, and we do provide catering for the new staff orientation. So we've done a few things over the course of the year as needed. But we couldn't do any of it without our team. So one of the things that we offer to anyone who wants to learn is to offer the Serve Safe course. And we will help put them through the Serve Safe, which is a nationally recognized program for food handling and food safety. We also complete our yearly required trainings by the USDA. So we're, current with all the regulations. We have Celebrate Lunch Hero Day, which is in May, where we recognize the members of our team. And sadly, we did retire 2 very long-term employees last year, 2 folks with 15 years of service with Whitson's and many years with service with the town.
Wow.
So happy to hang their aprons up for they're missed, but we had team members ready, trained to go to backfill their positions. So we had a nice seamless transition. Just some of the things to highlight our partnership with the district. I do participate in Community Reading Day at North Grafton and North Street every year, which is a lot of fun. We are upping our composting. We started with just the kitchens last year. Now we're added the food waste from the high school and middle school at lunch. So we're hoping to roll that down to the elementary level. We do participate in the Next Trek recycling program, which recycles all of our plastic. So our case wraps, our bread bags, some of the other wraps that we do. We came just shy of 1,000 pounds last year. So we're hoping this year when our time resets to do the 1,000. Next Trek will provide us with a bench just as a token of, you made your 1,000 pounds, so we could place that bench outside of a school. So, and it's the Trex program, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically the plastic materials that they make decks out of and stuff like that. So we're contributing to that. Over the summer, we were able to replace our servery at North Grafton. There's kind of a picture of the new setup, but also the walk-in and freezer was replaced at North Street. That was original to the building, so that certainly needed to be upgraded. And also student mentorship. We are currently assisting the Gaines students are coming to the middle school and the high school at lunchtime, and it's working out great. So they're getting some training, we're getting some help, so it's been fantastic. Some of the strategic plans that we have, these are just some of the things that we're looking at towards the future. Continuing our theme meals, student appreciation, and pop-up shops, constantly looking for new menu items. Making sure our current equipment is maintained, being proactive and identifying any equipment that may be coming to end of life that we need to replace. Looking to do some upgrading of the middle school cafeteria this year by reinvesting some of our surplus funds, some digital signage, some painting, And reimagining this serveries eventually at North Street, Millbury Street, and South Grafton. Making sure that we keep our team engaged and trained properly. Some of the things that we have planned is a nuts and bolts training. That's through the state. They provide online modules that the staff can go through. That's above and beyond the USDA training. So we have the opportunity to have them watch little videos and continue their learning and keep them engaged. Looking at digital signage for the high school as well as the middle school, and trying to work out an internal survey so we can get some more feedback from the students. See what we can do. And that's pretty much where we're at. So,
Great. Thank you so much.
so
Are there any questions from the committee? Rebecca?
I don't really have a question. I have a comment.
Okay.
The fact that you're doing so much composting and recycling, it's just like, it's hard for me to do it at home, and I'm one person and it's one family. Like the scope that you're doing that at, it's just amazing that you even were willing to take it on and that it's so successful. And I just really commend you for that. Like that's really brave.
thank you.
Yeah.
Stella?
I just had a question on the slides, that the different graphs between the breakfast meals and the breakfast participation, just the differences between the two, and like the same for the lunch.
What was,
Just the difference between the two, like breakfast meals, how many like you made, or like the participation.
Physical number.
for the breakfast participation?
Yeah.
So it's 17%, 23, 24, and then looking at September, then 13%, and then it's 16%.
So it takes the meals that we served and it divides it into the enrollment. And that's what our participation rate is. So that gives us an idea of what percentage of the students in the district are eating.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Got it.
basically, if you have 100 students and we serve 50 lunches, participation is 50%.
Sure.
So as you can see, breakfast is always lower. Usually the high school is probably the lowest because they're stopping at Dunkin' Donuts. The younger kids, the breakfast participation is usually higher.
One of the things that's really helped breakfast is the slow start that they did at North Grafton and South Grafton this year, where instead of jumping right into the school day, they're kind of delaying the start of the school day. And that's, I believe they have the opportunity to either come to breakfast or go to the gym for 15 minutes or go to the library. So a lot of students have chosen to come see us for breakfast, so it
Nice.
helps a lot.
Great. Christy?
Yeah. So last year you guys were talking about the fish
Yes.
being introduced, right? And you're
Yeah.
starting in the high school, and I think
Yeah.
it was served like what, 3 times or 4, like not like a handful, right, of times in the high school. And you had said last year that if it went well, that you would consider going to the other lower
Right.
schools. Is that did it go over well? Did you find that the students enjoyed fish?
I think that the kids who ate it really enjoyed it. I think anytime you serve something new, there's wait a minute,
Right.
what's that's all about? So it's definitely worth doing again.
Okay, at the high school right now.
I would consider middle school. I don't know about elementary, but again, we could gauge interest.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I do remember you at the Read a Day, Dragons Love Tacos, right? That's the book that you.
Yes, Dragons Love Tacos.
Yeah.
I actually went out and bought number 2.
Oh, okay.
So I give them the
So we're all
option of
set.
which one they want to hear, because they told me that there's a 2 and I had no idea. So now I know.
Sequel.
Yes. Okay.
Any questions? Or, I mean, do you guys eat the lunch? That's putting you on the spot. You see the lunch. You have lunch. All right. Well, thank you. So I know there's a lot of discussion. Obviously, we're very lucky that Massachusetts still funds
Yes.
free lunch, and especially, and breakfast, because when that was first rolled out, originally that was only for free and reduced students could get breakfast, and now
Right.
everybody can get breakfast. So that's wonderful, and we'll be hopeful that we can continue, that Massachusetts can continue leading in that area. And yeah, that feeding the leadership day, that was wonderful. And the fish actually it was a complicated, if I remember. There was a lot of ingredients. I didn't do that. Because I couldn't handle that, but it was great. It was such a wonderful time.
Like I said, I'd have you anytime.
Yeah, well, thank you. I would come anytime. It was great to see. I mean, the kids were lining up. They were so excited, probably to see Frank, possibly to see Dr. Cummings.
It was Frank. We'll just say that.
Most likely Frank. But great. Yeah. Any other questions, comments? Well, it's great to see you guys. We're always appreciative. And I always say this, but you are such a great partner to us, and really appreciate how much you invest in getting our students fed and giving them healthy choices and different choices. And it's wonderful. So thanks so much for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
for having
Thank
us.
you.
Good to see you both. All right. Yeah, if I put you guys on the spot, just,
No, I just have lunch off a lot, so I'm not in the building for lunch.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I know where the cafeteria is.
I know. Have you been to the cafeteria? All right, we're skipping over the technology update tonight, so we'll get to hear that next time, or when our agenda allows. And we're going to talk a little bit about some budget
Yeah,
development.
just really quick
Okay.
on the budget. Today, we completed our meetings with the principals to go over school-based budgets. So that's complete now. We'll shift to the directors, operations, special ed, technology, teaching and learning, starting tomorrow. At the same time, Kathleen's really taking the lead with it, but working on the forecasting, that 5-year forecast that the town side is also working on. We've got a meeting next week with Mary and I think it's William to look at combining the schoolwork, the school forecast, and the municipal side forecast, and that's going to result in something that will be presented at that joint meeting, hopefully before the joint meeting. So we'll have a lot more budget stuff.
Great. Any questions about that? Christy?
Dr. Cummings, will we be able to get the addendum posted online for the?
Yes, Kathleen took a long time, and she is going to be yelled at for it, but she finally completed her memo on the additional money that was received. And she gave it to me. So she's off the hook now. I need to check her work and then,
All right, because she presented the memo last week, that's why, or 2 weeks ago, rather, to the school committee.
it might have been the concept, but she redid the memo. I know that.
Okay,
And
thank you.
it's ready to go.
Great. Any other questions? Okay, great.
All right.
All right, grants.
Grants.
Still you.
So with the, one of the new policies, the school committee is asked to approve grants. Kathleen put together the spreadsheet that's provided for you in the book. It breaks down the 6 annual state-funded entitlement grants. So these are grants that we get automatically every year. We have to go through a very laborious process to submit into the GEM system exactly how we're going to spend those dollars over the course of the year, but we don't have to write a competitive grant and say, woohoo, we got Title II funding. It comes every spring. She broke it down by salary versus non-salary. You'll see in a general sense, about 55% of our entitlement grants, we usually get about somewhere between $800 and $1 million. 55% this past year, and this is indicative of what you would see in a traditional year, about 55% salaries, 32% special education transportation, and 13% other. And that's generally materials and specialized supplies. Might be like translation materials, curriculum materials, that type of thing.
Christy, did you?
Yeah, Dr. Cummings, we had spoken before last year, and you had said that at one point, grants that we receive, these federal grants, are not necessarily expended in the year for which we receive them, and that there is carryover.
Yes.
The grants that we've received, are they going to be expended in FY '26?
No. Do you have, or the committee, well prepared to give just a very brief overview of how it works, if you'd like that? Watch, this is going to blow your minds. Even have a microphone. So,
It's like you could tell
we
the
always
oops.
have, I carry. This will be the test. All right, so we have the operational. Yeah, if anyone's watching at home. with the operational budget. So that's all chapter 70 funding we get from the state plus what the town contributes. So operational budget follows the fiscal year, starts July 1, so that's 7th month, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, January, 1, April, May, and it ends on June 30. So for the operational budget, we get the money, we start spending on July 1st, and we have to be done spending on June 30th. We have the luxury of being a school district of having revolver funds. So if there was some random bill for natural gas or something that shows up on July 2nd, if we have to, we can use the revolver fund to cover that. The municipal side doesn't have that luxury. They don't have that kind of flexibility with the revolver accounts, and they wish they did. They're definitely, understandably, very jealous for this reason. You may have noticed if you attended town meeting yesterday, one of the articles was to pay a bill for, I think, $65,000 that came in after July 1st for last year. That would be a real headache if we had to do that. But that's why they had to do it at town meeting, because they don't have revolver to fall back on. So now we're going to jump to entitlement grants. Entitlement grants. Again, about $1 million. So it's a real pain in the neck, but we're happy to get the $1 million, but it's a ton of work that goes into the back end. Jen Mannion has taken the lead on it with Nicole McDonald for the IDEA funding. So they announced the allocations in late spring, so we know, okay, we about 850, 900, whatever it might be. They give you till about August to submit your plan. You go back and forth in September. You always have to redo it because it's super regulated what you can spend it on. We have to give a tiny little sliver to Touchstone. You have to do fair share with some other area districts. It's pretty complex. But you don't get to spend the money until you get the thumbs up and you get the green light. That's in October, usually. So it goes from October to October. So you can spend it all this year, plus into the next fiscal year. So this will give a squiggly line. So anything that is spent here is considered carryover. One example of that, and most of it is spent out, but some remains. An example would be with the IDEA grant. We spend, let's say, $70,000 on summer special education transportation for ESY, private transportation, et cetera. So that's spent here. So that's a carryover that we use, but again, it goes year to year. You could, if you have money, you could still go another, it depends, between a half a year and an extra year. The only time we go into the next, extend beyond 1 year, our goal is 1 year, is if something, I don't know, say we set aside 70 grand for transportation that came back at 68,000. You might have an extra 2,000. And you can't just spend it on anything. You've got to go back and tell the state what you're spending it on. So probably 98% of our entitlement grant monies are spent within a year, but there is a chunk that's spent in the following fiscal year. Does that make sense?
Yes, very much so. Do you know what the dollar amount is that we have from carryover from FY25 going into this year? Because we're going
25, I can
FY26
find out, but it's probably under 10,000.
and then,
Because if you don't spend it,
right,
you lose it. It's unlike a revolver. We could keep it kind of forever.
yeah.
You get email after email from the state saying you've got until whenever, March 20th, to spend that $3,000.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. And then in regards to, these are the entitlement grants that we're looking at this evening.
Yes.
You have other grants, and like we spoke of last week, prior to this policy going through, that have gone into wherever they may go. I know, for example, the curriculum, right? Didn't we get a large grant for curriculum that Jen Mannion has been using to fund the new curriculum? That was a 3-year, wasn't it a 3-year? Wasn't it like a 3-year?
We get them, they
Not
tend to
Project
be
Lead the Way?
short
Something,
term.
yeah.
like Project Lead the Way. It's
Right.
usually things that they'll front end knowing that they want the business long term. They'll provide a grant up front, cover most of the costs, get you up and running, and then that is not a shocker, but they pull back on funding and we have to absorb that.
Okay. All right. So going forward, as we are going to see, we're going to be accepting voting on rather than entitlement grants this evening. But then any grants that come in, as we spoke last week, you'll be alerting the committee of.
I think it's
Like-
a good thing to discuss. If we're going to if I'm going to bring to the committee every Mickey Mouse, what's that number?
Right.
Over 10,000? Is it
I know.
$50? The special grant for the classroom. I'd love direction on that.
Okay.
We don't get a lot of like big ones.
Yeah, we got the grant last year for the roofing, like to assess the roofs. Wasn't that funded with a
No,
grant?
that wasn't us. That
was the
well, that
town?
was from the municipal
Municipal side.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all I have.
Okay. Any other questions? Rebecca.
I appreciate your lecture. So your squiggly line, it's
Yep.
like carryover, but it's like not really.
It's not. It's
Right,
just
because
that
it's
two
just a
different
continuation.
timelines.
Yeah.
But if you took a snapshot, like when Desi takes that annual snapshot, they fully understand that
Right.
they're only capturing
Part of it, right? It's a known quantity.
They expect us to plan. It could be
Right. Obviously, if
also
we're
like
using it for salaried positions.
summer
and then
summer
continue,
salaries. We don't pay them all that IDA, but a good chunk.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just difficult because you're dealing with three types of years. You're dealing with an operational budget year, like fiscal year, calendar year, and then the DESI grant year.
Yes, and then your limitation.
And then your limitations.
Their strict limitation on operational. This one is strict. They'll take away the money, but you essentially get 2 years. We don't typically use the 2 years. We shoot for one. And then revolving accounts. That's a whole different ballgame outside of the operational budget where obviously they get audited every year, but we could, in good times, you could build up a surplus and hold on to it, which you can't with the other two.
Okay. Thank you.
Stella?
Yeah, and aside from like this grant, do we get any big grants that are this large? I know you said you get small,
Oh,
like
gosh,
50.
no.
Okay, so
No.
it's kind of
Jen Mannion's coming to the next meeting. We had that 1.8 grant, Project Lead the Way. We've got a few that she can speak to.
okay.
But usually if it's 10,000 a year, that's a big deal, as opposed to this being almost $1 million.
Can I jump on that too? Just, I think, especially when we talk about overrides, we do hear a lot from people about why can't we get a grant for this and this? And aren't you? And I think that we do exhaust a lot of grant opportunities. They do go to districts that are usually either inner city or rural or more diverse and things like that. So we do look at a lot of grants, but
yeah.
we also just don't qualify for a
The
lot
ones
of
with
grants.
the fewest strings attached are, I mean, understandably, they're set up for communities that are far more diverse and have greater needs that we're not even in the game. The ones that you can find many that it's like a 2-year grant, but once whatever that initiative is that they get you going, once the 2 years are over, you have to plan to then
Yeah,
run
right.
with it, which we can do. But if we just did that all the time, we'd be even more in the poorhouse.
And do we accept the grant, like knowing like if you get like they get you started like say 2 or 3 years,
Yep.
then say okay year 4 like
We own
we're
it.
budgeting
We're
for that.
100%. You'll hear Jen Maney talk about Project Lead the Way, which has been terrific.
Yeah,
But they make it really easy to get up and running. And after a couple of years, they start pulling back, understandably. But that's the deal from the get-go.
before we accept it, we kind of know.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not a bait
Yeah,
and switch.
us,
You definitely know what you're getting
Okay.
into.
Any other questions? I have one more, and I know that you're not going to know the answer, but I think I'm just going to ask it. Like, so you talk about state, but isn't some of it federal money too?
Everything still comes, I mean, bottom line, most of it's federal.
Yeah,
But
It goes to the
through
state and then the state
and the
allocates
state
it.
manages, if we, like, we work with DESI to get through the GEMS program to have everything in order. I don't have to work with the federal government,
that's,
which is great.
just say no more. So we're voting on this?
In policy, we're supposed to.
Yeah,
So I'll-
to just accept,
Right.
I'll take a motion. Come on.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the grants as allocated by Dr. Cummings.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? All right. And thanks for that, Professor Cummings.
My pleasure.
It's wonderful. Motion carries, sorry, 4-0. All right. Okay, MASC resolutions. I'll just set this up just for probably just for Stella's benefit, really, but and for people watching at home. So, as most of you probably know, we're members of the Massachusetts Association of School Committees. One of what the MASC does is advocate for students on Federal Hill, and actually in Washington D.C. they'll go out and typically the body will either come up with resolutions or things that they want, hopefully, to get some government backing, perhaps to get a bill. I'll bring up the millionaires tax that passed several years ago, was initially an MASC resolution. It was something that they channeled and went through the Student Opportunity Act. So we have seen some differences over the years. What we have in front of us tonight, and what we're going to do is we're going to vote and make our recommendations to Rebecca, who is our delegate, who's going to go to the conference and represent Grafton. Now, these aren't necessarily going to pass. A lot of these actually are ones that are set to expire. So we're hoping that maybe they'll get renewed. Thank you, Christy. And then one of them is our own. So we look foolish if we don't vote for that. And I also want to say Grafton actually co-sponsored originally the transgender sanctuary. So you'll see that. So also, I mean, it's a different group, so I won't tell you how to vote. But I was not a part of the resolution committee, but I can answer questions best I can if anybody has them. Otherwise, we can take a motion. Yeah.
Ma'am. So why do they expire? Are they given like a time frame? when
Yeah,
they
I
last?
think it's within, I want to say 5 years, but
Yeah, I did see 5 years.
Yeah, that was 5 years.
yeah. So I think
A
if it's
3-year lifespan must be authorized.
yeah, then it's just in case things have changed or maybe the body, there's a lot of turnover, so maybe people don't want them to pursue it anymore, so they get re-upped.
Okay.
I would actually, I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions, but
And then are these like policies that we would also have like in our own policy manuals?
no, so they're not policies. So they're basically what members of the members of the executive board of MASC will go and talk to like state representatives like Dave Meridian or Michael Moore, and they're going to say things like, we want to make sure our transgendered students are protected. If it does become a bill or a law, then it would trickle down to policy. Yeah, so for instance, the one Grafton's policy, it's not just Rebecca's. We are still going to be obligated to test
CMI.
yeah, thank you. BMI, even though we're hoping to think of it as like a oh my gosh, I'm losing my words tonight. Lobby, like they're lobbyists is what they're doing. So they're trying to get these bills passed. So it's mostly, I think, a
Before it
value
becomes a law?
before. Well, they're trying to make it become a law.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or change policy.
Or
I think
change
if it's not a
policy.
law to begin with. It was interesting when I met with them about the policy that I submitted. They were like part of the big conversation that they were having sort of amongst themselves was like, okay, so if we accept this, who do we need to lobby to? Like, who are we even talking to? And so it's sort of like we're identifying what we want to happen. And then their job is to go out and figure out what the heck do we do to make that happen. And it was cool. So, but yeah, so it's not necessarily, I mean, it depends what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good point. And actually, anybody can serve on the resolution committee. We're all members of MASC, so it doesn't have to just be the executive board. Yeah. So basically, and a lot of times too, they'll even on the floor, they'll amend it, like what happens at town meeting. People might bring up the new, so we trust Rebecca to use her best judgment. And eventually it'll come to just what Rebecca wants to do anyway. So, but she represents us. So this is more of
Yeah. I'd like to get your opinions so I can represent you appropriately.
exactly.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
do we need to take a motion to vote on these? Because it's not really required, the vote. I mean, we're going to take a vote, but do you want to do, I make a motion?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion. I make a motion to vote on the resolution 1 regarding sanctuary laws for transgender students.
Second. Motion been seconded. Any further discussion?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if we vote, that means we are saying, yes, we want to support it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think, yes, we want to continue.
Right.
We want you to continue.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we actually, yeah.
Okay. That's what I assumed. I just want to make sure it's
Right.
clear what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right. All in favor? Great. All right.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to vote on resolution 2 to increase the maximum balance allowed by the Special Education Reserve Fund. This will increase it from 2% to 5% for the maximum.
Second. Motion made seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? All right, motion carries.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to vote on resolution 3, membership of the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education.
Second.
Motion made seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
No.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to vote on resolution 4, preserving local governance of Massachusetts schools.
Second.
I have a question about this one.
Yeah.
We're probably going to ask.
I will.
questions.
What was it, second? Yeah,
It
Go
was.
ahead, Rebecca.
And they might amend this. I'm assuming they're going to amend it because
Oh, yeah.
the date is in it that is like in the past. But I was just wondering if anyone knows if there's been any movement on this as a
Wow.
policy or a law.
I know that Holyoke's out of reserve. Yeah, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know online.
I'm guessing it hasn't been.
Southbridge was too. And
They still on it? I don't know.
I think Southbridge is still in it. 'Cause I feel like Holyoke was the first one that ever moved out, and I feel like I would have heard, but I'm not actually sure.
It would be interesting just to know like how they got out because that's as far as I knew there was like there's no path to escape.
Yeah,
And I would love to know how that.
I bet that's
played
a
out.
session. I wonder if that'll be a session.
That would be interesting. Anyway, that I'm happy to vote. I just had a
Yeah, no, I'm sure they would love to talk about it too. Yeah, I know Devin, who is, I think he's the current chair of, yeah, Southbridge is still, yeah. It's a big deal.
it's just scary.
It is scary. Yep.
We can vote.
Any further? I'm done. I'm sorry, totally just kidding. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Great. Awesome.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to vote on resolution 5, personal financial literacy education.
Second. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
I'm really in favor of this.
Is financial literacy one word?
No.
Okay, great.
It is
Okay,
not,
just
but it
I'm
is,
like-
it is merged together on
It
this.
really is.
Financial
I was
literacy.
like, that's a complicated. Oh no, it's not. It's just 2 words.
Just 2 words. Okay. I am also very in favor of this. But then this would be another one, like we might, that could be an unfunded, we'd have to, we do offer financial literacy, but, okay, here, now. All those in favor? Motion carries. And one more.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to vote on resolution 6, establishment of a regional school assessment reserve fund.
Second.
Motion made second. Any further discussion? Commonwealth is not hyphenated either. All those in favor?
Above. Above is not one word. I like the words.
All right, did you all vote?
We
Okay, great. All right, well, thanks. That's great. Rebecca, we wish you luck and obviously, use your best judgment and have so much fun.
So much fun.
And actually, I did want to follow up. Have you submitted that you're a delegate? Is Leora doing that?
I have no idea. I can follow up with.
Follow up. I think it's just an online form or you should have gotten it in the mail, but somebody needs to sign you up.
Okay.
Or you should just sign yourself up.
So I can do it myself.
If you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
And if you need, I think you need to put an alternate. Or we didn't vote on that.
Are you going to the committee?
I am.
You're not?
I am.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, no, I'll probably try to go so I can cheer you on. Okay. It depends what time it is,
Some Friday.
if it interrupts my, evening. Okay. Student representative report. Hi.
Hi. It was homecoming week last week.
Woo.
It was really successful with lots of participation, all the spirit days, the coin wars, and the food drive.
Student Council ran their first homecoming volleyball tournament, and the winners were Bolts National.
The seniors had a great senior breakfast and continued on to win the pep rally and homecoming week. And senior grades closed on November 3rd for our college application progress reports.
And we also have a half day tomorrow.
Yes.
Excellent.
That's
Yes, you do. That's all. All right. Well, thank you to everybody for making homecoming week a success, to all our parent volunteers and our students and all accounts. It sounded like it was a wonderful time. Who won?
Seniors.
Great. Like to hear that.
Yes. The volleyball tournament was also seniors.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, many.
Don't use a generator if you're doing a tournament because I accidentally was freshman girls against senior boys like 3 times in a row. Because it was name generator, so it wasn't.
Oh.
I didn't factor in.
Oh, that's okay. It was the first time.
Yeah.
It was fine.
But seniors won that too.
Yeah. Might have been nice actually if the freshman girls had pulled through, but that's okay.
That's true.
All right. Well, you are both welcome to leave or stay, but I think we're almost out. All right. Good to see you both. Good luck, Delaney.
Thank you.
Hang in there. All right. Superintendent
A
report.
couple things.
Yeah, thanks.
I wanted to thank Steve Moradian, randomly called me. We had that water main break pretty much right outside his house. He was the first one on it.
Oh,
Called me, just thank you to DPW, AA Transportation Week, Rothwell, Shauna Carlson, principals, everybody handled a 1:30 p.m. water break in the center of the common. It just isn't great. But they all made it work beautifully. I went over at the very end. They were probably 10 minutes behind, maybe 15 at North Grafton Elementary. So that's pretty good. And following back, we had talked a few meetings back about the creation of an English learner parent advisory council. We held our first one last Thursday. Jen Mannion ran it, put it all together, was convinced nobody was going to show up, and had 4 parents and their kids. It went great. So I think that's awesome.
that's great.
Believe it or not, four parents for the first meeting. That's a good thing. And yep, that's all I have.
That's what we have here.
Yeah.
I said it's more parents than we have at these meetings.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Yeah, I guess it was a great meeting. They loved it. Jen did a really nice job.
Great. Yeah, and I would like to echo, the communication about that water main break was phenomenal. It was.
It was pretty good. Frank chose, I didn't like his robocall voice selection, and he heard it from me.
Except all the cars filtered in through my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's how I had to get here tonight.
Oh my God.
That's why I was late.
I know I went, yeah.
I
Still
forgot.
working on it. Hopefully they'll have it by tomorrow morning. But
And then, because I was like, I wish they put detour signs up.
Yeah.
It's so confusing.
I
out there.
forgot. I would have gone another. I have to remember to go home a different way. Yeah, it was hard, but
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And
they scrambled. And
I did see your name pop up, so it was like all friendly. I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, no, just Frank.
National treasure. Sorry.
National, yes, he was. He's had a good week, Frank.
Frank's been great.
Did a good job last night. Okay. All right. We future agenda schedule, I almost just want to, if it's okay with you guys, pass over and have you just email Leora and Jay, since I don't really have control over that, if that's okay. We're going to move, yeah. Technology will be moved. Yeah.
I'll
is that-
check in with Leora.
Yeah, if you could, if you
Yeah,
have
feedback,
concerns,
send it.
just send over an email. Because that would just be better for me. And we have some minutes. I saw.
Madam Chair.
Oh,
Sorry, I have a question.
Oh,
first
sorry, yeah.
Before we go to approval of them. It says in the agenda that it's September 30th and October 7th, yet in the drive, I only see September 30th.
I saw October 7th. I feel like I read it.
It's like halfway up. Oh, I have mine.
What can I?
It was our last, was that our last meeting? The 7th?
I don't see it when I click on Dr. Cummings.
Question.
Oh, there it is. I find it.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Never
Are you
mind.
officially retracting?
I am retracting that. I do. I apologize, Dr. Cummings.
Accepted.
Madam Chair.
Yep.
I move that the committee accept the minutes for October 7th, 2025. Oh, I did that out of order, so sorry.
Whoa, okay.
Oh.
As long as you give the
Second that.
Steve some time. Thank you. All right, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor? All right, motion carries.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I move that the committee accept the minutes for September 30th, 2025 as written.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? All right. All right. We
Madam
have
Chair.
reporting of the warrant.
Madam Chair. I move that the committee accept warrants 15 and 16. That's written.
So, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? I will just say this, that when Leora's back, because I was thinking about it after last week, and I talked to some other people, and they were like, no, we don't vote on our warrants. What if everybody voted no? And I thought, huh. So we can revisit it when Leora's back, but Christy, I might, yeah. I mean, I understand why we were doing it, and I'm also open to changing my mind. 'Cause what would happen? I mean, I already paid it. It'd be kind of silly. So I know, Christy, it's okay. I'm a big enough person to admit when I'm wrong.
We could vote
I-
to acknowledge.
I have stated that I will not mention warrants
We
at this
could
meeting.
include grants.
No, grants, it's in the policy, Dr.
Just saying, that horse,
It's
you
already-
can't even see that
also
horse.
already-
That horse is so gone.
Right.
You
That's a
recommended
good
that
point.
policy.
No, no, no.
Yes, you did.
Well, I feel like we might need to revisit some of the policies if they're turning into like us.
I couldn't agree.
But
not
Dr. Cummings
doing our-
recommended it when he refused to attend meetings and then
Okay.
sent
All
the
right.
recommendations,
Okay.
Dr. Cummings.
Motion on the table. Motion on the table.
motion.
All in favor? All right. All abstaining. Okay. Motion still carries 3-0. That's okay. All right. And now we have some policy. Woo-hoo. And yeah, Christy, I'll hand it over to
yeah.
you, but I'm here for backup.
So on the policies, before I start with
Oh, yeah.
the motion, any motions or
Mm-hmm.
anything else, I'd like to give the board an update on what's happening with policy. We have submitted all of the policies, the changes, the acceptance, everything that happened a couple weeks ago to MASC. It was a treacherous process because everything has to be done individually, and it was a treacherous process. So everything has been sent over. MASC has contacted me today, actually, Laura, and
Oh.
stated that this process will take them approximately 6 weeks because of the sheer volume of policies for which we have submitted to them.
Okay.
The section, we submitted them sections at a time. So we submitted section A, section B, so that we would be able to audit them as they got approved. They've finished section A. So what I am now doing is once the policies are all done, such as section A, I'm taking that and creating a Google spreadsheet for which we will say when it was last reviewed, if it will belong in a handbook, and what was the other thing I told Dr.
Yearly?
Yeah, if it has a yearly update, yes. So while going through that, I noticed that a policy got through us that we missed. Now, prior at Policy Palooza, and prior to that, we had stated that any contact update would be a single reach. So the policy that I'm going to recommend this evening, I'd like to make a motion to accept policy ACA, non-discrimination on basis of sex. This is purely a contact change from Mandy Late to Nicole McDonald for the coordinator.
Second.
Okay, great. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Great. Thanks, Christy. Good eye, good eye.
So next, we're going to talk about policy JJE. Before I make, I'll make a motion first, and then we'll give our presentation. I'd like to make a motion to accept policy JJE, student fundraising activities, as a first read.
Second.
Great. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, Dr. Cummings, could you pull up the presentation that I've provided you in the drive?
While he's doing that, you have to download each individual policy into a Word document and email individual words. So we have it all in Google, and you have to do it page by page. So it could be wondered why maybe some got skipped and were not done correctly when the
What
last
is
person did
super
it.
frustrating, no, and what's super frustrating is that even if you change the font so that the whole policy looks like it's in the same font, once they put it in, they change fonts. I don't understand why, but it's very, if you're,
Yeah, definitely is
so,
clunkier.
Times New Roman 12.
right. So, but like they change font within this policy, which is
Yeah,
really frustrating.
yeah.
All right, Dr. Cummings, next slide. So what I would like to do is actually read the policy, and as the first reading, I'm going to read the policy. So the policy is stated, and this is the MASC recommendation, states, while the school committee recognizes that fundraising activities have become part of the school environment at all levels, the committee wishes to ensure that students are not exploited by the process. The committee further recognizes that families have different resources. Those differences should, as much as possible, not be highlighted by the school activities, including fundraising. The committee supports student involvement in the sale of tickets to scheduled athletic events, school dramatic and musical performances, and other events, whereas sales are required. Also, student publications, which require the sale of advertising to sustain themselves to serve the student body and/or the community, may involve students in such sales. Charitable fundraising activities, especially those that are part of the community service event or program, are encouraged, provided such proposals are submitted to the provided to and approved by both building principal and superintendent. Other fundraising activities that would involve students in fundraising process shall be submitted to the superintendent for approval. For safety reasons, and because the school committee recognizes that community members receive requests to support many worthy causes, activities such as canning and door-to-door sales are strongly discouraged. Fundraising activities may not involve competition among students. Students may not be rewarded with additional recess snacks, activities, or any other type of prize for having raised larger amounts of funds or reaching fundraising goals. No fundraising of any kind may be held in the school without the specific consent of the public building administration. So I know that we had some discussion last week, and so we just want to give the feedback that we had received from the principals and from the superintendent. They'd stated that it was the best practice to move away from fundraising competition among individual students, and that even within that policy that I just read, that the feeling is that grade, such as what we saw this evening with homecoming, grade-wide competitions are still fine even within that policy, and the whole school is also acceptable. So I then reached out to the booster organization because that was our discussion last week, or rather last time we brought this forward to a reading. And they provided a lot of feedback on the phone, and then they sent me an email, and this is the email that they had sent. It's just bulleted. It's their whole thing. Basically, they were stating that a lot of districts are getting away from individualized competition because of they want kids to feel included, and that they haven't found that it is negatively affecting fundraising in any way, and that there's nowhere in the contract that would require any such student-student competition. So that was their basics. And then they have their own flyer, and that also states that they could do school-wide incentives or classroom challenges. And they recognize participation and not just top fundraisers. That's all.
Great, thanks, Christy. Any questions to Christy or us or me? I'm sorry, I'm also, we co-signed on this. Christy did all the work and I'll take half the credit. So I think after what we kind of discussed is after last week, we were concerned. We didn't want to just throw, we don't want to hurt fundraising. We just saw very successful, over $70,000 for a fundraiser in the North Grafton area. We know Oktoberfest was very successful. So we never want to be standing in the way because we're grateful, so grateful for that. And then this just, I think Christy was great, just reached out because we had said, we don't want to make more work for people and just find out what are the options. And obviously that's where we'll step back. It's not really up to us what
Right. We're just
fundraisers
giving
are
you
done. This is just some feedback that,
information that we
we received. So, and this is a first reading also. So we can take feedback in between. So any other questions or comments, concerns? Christy? Rebecca?
Thank you. I appreciate the work you guys did. It's exactly what I was hoping we would find out is that and it's not surprising that they have alternatives because I feel like this is kind of a generalized push for equity. And so thanks for doing that legwork and finding out that there are great alternatives. I'm very happy about that.
Any other questions? All right, I don't have any. I might take a motion then to accept as a first reading, and then we'll bring it back in 2 weeks. Or, yeah,
I think you already made the motion, didn't we?
did we? You did when you started.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll take all those in favor. All right, motion carries. Thank you. All right. We don't have member reports, I don't think. We don't have correspondence. We're not having an executive session. I will take a motion to adjourn. I know I don't have to do it, but I like to do it.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Great, all in favor? Awesome, thank you. Quicker than town meeting.